What hot details do we already know about the second season of Bridgerton? How do the bees we see throughout season 1 hint at upcoming plot points? And will we see more of Simon and Daphne's love story? Hi, I'm Joy. Let's find out. Will Bridgerton remain a single-season show? The series became an instant hit on Netflix after its Christmas premiere. Frankly, we'd be very surprised if Bridgerton didn't get a second season. The mastermind behind the show is Shonda Rhimes, who's famous for the long-running hits like Grey's Anatomy and Scandal. So it's safe to assume that Bridgerton will definitely deliver Regency-era romances for many more years. However, the show technically hasn't been renewed so far, but don't worry too much. All signs are pointing to a new season. Initially, the shooting for season 2 was scheduled to start last summer, but of course, things went a little off track because of the coronavirus pandemic. And it was recently reported that filming is set to start this March. The production of the previous season took almost a year, so it's likely that the second season won't be completed until early 2022. But we still hope it'll be ready by next Christmas, fingers crossed. Shonda fought for Bridgerton. As the fans of the show probably already know, there are 8 books in the Bridgerton series of novels. It turns out Shonda Rhimes was passionate about getting the rights to them and bringing the story to the small screen. I remember I was almost scaring people, she shared. Like, we have to get these crazy romance novels. They're hot and they're sexy and they're really interesting. The show doesn't stick closely to the books, so the cast, just like the audience, is pretty much kept in the dark about the plot lines for season 2. According to Nicola Coughlan, Rhimes is keeping everything super secretive. She said, "Trust me, the cast, we've been speculating heavily. I text Claudia Jessie a lot and ask, what do you think is happening?" But the cast agrees that they would love to have 7 more seasons. And the show's creator Chris Van Dusen confirms these big plans. In an interview with Collider, he said, "This being a family of 8 children and there being 8 books, I would love to be able to focus and really tell stories and love stories for all the Bridgerton siblings." The bedrock of the first season was Simon and Daphne's love story and actually covered the first novel of the series, The Duke and I. But will this fan-favorite couple stay the focus? We'll try to answer this question a little bit later. And now, who's next to find love in season 2? The next novel in the Bridgerton series is called The Viscount Who Loved Me, and it's all about the eldest Bridgerton brother, Anthony. Actually, there are hints for future events scattered throughout the first season. Die-hard fans who have read the Julia Quinn novels already know that the family patriarch, Edmund Bridgerton, died suddenly after he was stung by a bee. Doctors of the Regency era didn't know anything about strong allergic reactions and anaphylactic shock. Edmund was only 38 years old, so his mysterious death left a profound mark on his eldest son. Because of it, Anthony was convinced he would die young too. That's why he spends his life as a rake, purposefully evading commitment and love. However, as the head of the family, and scorned by his former lover Sienna, he finally decides he should marry for duty, but not for love. However, not everything goes as planned. Many fans agree that this will definitely be the major plotline of season 2, because in the first installment there were several bee references, alluding to his family-defining tragedy. In the very first scene of the series, a bee sits on the Bridgerton house door knocker. And in episode 7, Benedict has a small black bee embroidered on his collar. Another bee pops up on the windowsill after Daphne gives birth in the last episode. Now we can see Anthony's behavior from a different perspective, right? His controlling tendencies towards Daphne and the rest of the family become easier to understand and make him a more interesting character. The book also reveals that he develops an intense fear of bees. But, ironically, it will be a bee that literally forces his hand, causing him to marry a woman who turns out to be his soulmate. And we have no doubt that Bridgerton fans will definitely be super excited to witness this moment. Okay, we'll stop with the spoilers here, although you can always read the novel and learn them anyway. Will we see more of Simon and Daphne's relationship? Much to the regrets of this lovely couple's fans, they'll no longer be the show's main characters. Their conflict is resolved and they presumably go on to live happily at Cliveden Castle and might even have more babies. However, we still expect them both to return as important characters in season 2. Phoebe Dynevor revealed that she expects her character to have some sort of revenge on her brother. I want to see Daphne get involved in Anthony's love life a bit, as he sort of meddled with hers quite a lot. I think that will be fun. Also, she thinks that there's no such thing as a happy ending, and while love is always shifting and changing, she would like to see how Simon and Daphne's story evolves. Regé-Jean Page has also suggested there's more to explore in their relationship, saying, "I'm not sure I believe in paradise. I think that love is an evolving thing. It's a living, breathing thing that needs tending, that needs looking after, that needs mending when it gets worn or torn." According to the actor, Daphne and Simon still have a lot of growing up to do, as they got married very young and largely inexperienced. Who else might come under the spotlight? The season 1 finale left us with plenty of unanswered questions. Will Benedict continue to explore his sexuality and his passion for art? How will Eloise deal with society's expectations to enter the marriage market, despite her reluctance? Will Penelope admit her feelings to Colin? And we definitely want to find out who will inherit the estate after the untimely death of Lord Featherington, because it will affect the fortunes of Penelope and her 2 sisters. Showrunner Chris Van Dusen appeared to confirm that the second season won't focus solely on Anthony's search for a perfect spouse. "I think we've done some work in season 1 to set up other characters," he shared. "We're really exploring Benedict as well, and Colin and Eloise's relationship." He also revealed that he would like to explore the stories for all the characters, not just the Bridgertons, from the Featheringtons, who are amazing and so fun to write, to Lady Danbury's stories and Queen Charlotte's. And let's not forget that only the audience knows the true identity of Lady Whistledown. However, Penelope might just reveal herself to her best friend. If this happens, her relationship with Eloise will change drastically. "I'd hate to think of the fallout that's going to happen with Eloise," shared Nicola Coughlan. "That makes me feel, ill inside." The actress also revealed that she would love to come back to filming as soon as possible because there's so much more to discover about her character. In the books, Penelope's romantic storyline is only introduced in the 4th novel, but nothing is set in stone. The TV adaptation has already deviated somewhat from the source material, so we hope to learn whether she and Colin get together soon. By the way, the author of the Bridgerton books was involved in Netflix's reimagining of her stories as a consultant. She's also supportive of the show creators' decision to take creative liberties with her novel's content. "I was not going to tell Shonda Rhimes how to make television," she revealed. "It's not a word-for-word adaptation, and it shouldn't be. I never expected that." Fans are also hoping to see the troubled Marina Thompson again. We last saw her driving away with her dead lover's brother with a plan to marry so that her child could be born in wedlock. Van Dusen explained that storylines like Marina's are purposefully left open-ended to leave room to explore later on. In the novels, the fate of Miss Thompson is quite sad, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that in the adaptation. And though Bridgerton already has a sizable cast, it's likely to get even bigger. Who will steal Anthony Bridgerton's heart? If the second season follows the second book of the Bridgerton series, we should expect a few new major characters. Although London's most elusive bachelor, according to Lady Whistledown, seems to have no plans to marry during the first season of the show, as Anthony approaches 30, he's determined to marry and produce an heir. Fearing that he might die young like his father, he has no intention of falling in love. So, Viscount Bridgerton finds a perfect candidate who'll check all the boxes of being a good wife. The most beautiful debutante of the current season, Edwina Sheffield. And the only obstacle between them is her sister Kate, the most meddlesome woman ever to grace a London ballroom. Witty and sharp-tongued, Kate is determined to stop the betrothal. She's sure that reformed rakes do not make the best husbands, and Anthony Bridgerton is the most wicked rogue of them all. As you might expect, things do not go according to plan, and Kate soon realizes that she might actually think differently. So who will become Anthony's wife? And will it be a union of hearts? To answer these burning questions, you'll have to read the book, or wait until the second season of Bridgerton. It's likely that Netflix will announce additions to the cast soon, including which actresses will play Edwina and Kate. We'll just have to wait and see. Who would you want to see in these roles? Don't be shy to share your choice in the comments. And thanks for staying with OSSA Movies.